What's going on, Fantasy World? It's your boy, Hot Soup. Yeah, that's right. Soupy. And I'm coming to you live with our top 5 sits for week 12. Do not set those lineups until you hear these top 5 sits. Yeah. And our first sit this week, guarantee you have got to get this guy on your bench, DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift's going against Minnesota. Minnesota is ranked second right now, giving up fantasy points. They are ranked number 1 in the league and giving up yardage, only 74.4 yards given up on the ground. In the last 3 games, they have only given up 52 yards per game. Last 3 games, 50 yards. Did y'all just hear what I just said? Best run defense in the league right now. I will be looking elsewhere for a running back in week 12, and I suggest you all do the same. DeAndre Swift versus Minnesota. 17 touches, 73 yards, 8.8 fantasy points. He will fall outside the top 24 running backs in week 12. You heard it from the soup. And our number 2 player that you have got to get on your bench. Same game as DeAndre Swift, different team. Sam Darnold. That's right, Mr. Touchdown this year. Sam Darnold is going against Chicago, ranked first in the NFL in giving up points to opposing quarterbacks. Let me go ahead and break down what each quarterback has done against the Bears. Jordan Love, and this is a good game versus the Bears, 261 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Drake May, 184 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Seems like a theme here. Kyler Murray, 154 yards and 0 touchdowns. 0. Bagel. That's right. Jaden Daniels had the best game for a quarterback against Chicago with 326 yards and 1 touchdown. As a matter of fact, that is the most yards that have been thrown on Chicago all year long by 60. Trevor Lawrence had the best game in touchdowns versus Chicago. The only quarterback to throw for over 1 touchdown in 10 games was Trevor Lawrence. He put up 234 and 2 TDs on Chicago head. Andy Dalton. Dalton put up 131 yards and 0 TDs. Matthew Stafford, Mr. Matthew Stafford, 224 yards and 0 TDs. Richardson put up 167 yards and 0 TDs. Stroud put up 260 through the air and 1 TD. Will Levis, 127 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Again, there has only been 1 QB that went over 260 yards in 10 games. There is only 1 QB that went over 1 touchdown in 10 games. What this is telling me is Darnold throws under 225 because he never throws more than 250 anyway. And he throws for 1 touchdown. I'm not wasting my week 12 start with these statistics, and I suggest you follow suit. In week 12, Sam Darnold, 237 yards, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. He's going to be good for 11.74 fantasy points, and he will fall outside the top 15 quarterbacks in week 12. You ain't got to listen to what I say, but we going to circle back next week on my episode, I Told You So. Yeah. And our third player that you have got to sit this week, and this one gonna hurt. It hurts me, but I'm sitting his ass. Deebo Samuel versus Green Bay. Green Bay, 10th in the league right now and giving up fantasy points towards receivers. Deebo Samuel averaging 7 touches in the last 3 games. He has hit 20 points this season 1 time. With McCaffrey back in the lineup, they don't need him on the ground. Green Bay is giving up 207 yards per game. That's middle of the pack. Kittle will play. Jawan Jennings, 11 targets in each of the last 2 games. He is a third down slot machine. Deebo is now the number 4 target in that offense. If you want me to break it down to you like a little Charlie Irvine, I will. Christian McCaffrey, number 1. Christian McCaffrey, number 2. All right. Christian McCaffrey, number 1. George Kittle, number 2. Jawan Jennings, number 3. Deebo Samuel, Cuatro. Yeah. Brock Purdy also dealing with a shoulder injury going into week 12. Beware and go elsewhere. Deebo Samuels, get him on your bench. Who else wants some more Deebo? Yeah. Deebo Samuel, 8 touches, 76 yards, 10.1 fantasy points. Find another option. You heard it from the soup. And our 4th player that you have got to get on your bench in week 12, Jakobi Meyers. Yeah, Jakobi Meyers going versus Denver. Uh-oh, y'all know what time it is. Anytime I see a receiver going against Denver, you know that number 1 receiver is going to draw. Patrick Surtain continues to shut down offense's number 1 wide receivers. Minshew is a veteran, and he's going to know not to test Patrick Surtain. Brock Bowers will have a day in this game. Stay away from Jakobi Meyers in week 12 or deal with the consequences. Denver has only given up 6 TDs through the air in 2024 in 11 games. Find another option. You heard it from the soup. Jakobi Meyers, 4 receptions, 52 yards, 7.2 fantasy points in week 12. He is going to make you nauseous. And our number 5. Y'all gonna be pissed. I know I'm gonna be getting cussed out in the comment section as soon as y'all hear this pick, but I don't care. Facts, not feelings. Jonathan Taylor. Oh, what? Jonathan Taylor versus Detroit. Detroit ranked 4th right now versus the running back in giving up fantasy points. There's only 3 teams that do a better job. They are a top 5 run defense right now in the league against another top 5 defense earlier this year in Minnesota. JT, 16 touches, 59 yards, 0 TDs. In his last game he just played with Anthony Richardson back, 24 touches, 57 yards, and 0 TDs versus the New York Jets' exposable run defense. With Richardson back and taking rushing work in the red zone from JT, just like he did twice last week, leaving JT with a pedestrian stat line. Detroit, top 5 run defense, giving up 94 yards per game right now. If Richardson just goes for 40, that leaves JT with 54 yards and no TDs. Another fact for you, JT right now in the last 4 games is averaging less than 2 receptions per game. Detroit is a better team. Detroit is going to be up against Indiana, forcing them to pass the ball. That takes JT out of the game script. Don't panic. There is no need to scramble, but starting JT in week 12 is one hell of a gamble. I wouldn't do it, and I suggest you don't either. JT, 22 touches, 83 yards, 0 TDs. He's going to be good for 9.3 fantasy points, and that is his ceiling. Man, you heard it from the soup. Those are our top 5 sits for week 12. Go check us out for our episode, Top 5 Starts. We'll go over everything later on this week in my episode, I Told You So, and see how we fared off. It's your boy Hot Soup. Come check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Like and subscribe. If you have any inquiries, comments, leave them in the inbox. I'll get back to you within 24 hours. It's your boy Soupy, and I'm out.